Welcome, everybody, to the Game of the Year special for third shift for 2025. I'm me and you're you and he's him. Oh, that's an opening from the Patreon. We're not allowed to do that. I here am your host, your funky leader, the greatest man who's ever lived. It's me. It's Matt. With me, as always, it's the Light Bear, the Light Bringer, the Light Bear Bringer, the Beastmaster. Third shift, it's Eric, and we're here to tell you about our favorite games of the year from 2025, 2 honorable mentions, and our top 5. But we're not alone in that. We're not alone because 2 honorable listeners have submitted their honorable mentions and their top 5s. And we're going to read those off also. And I don't know, I'm going to kick it to Eric so he can say hello because I feel bad. But I feel like last time you went first, so this year I'll go first. So your number 1 can cap the show because mine did last year. I'm keeping it fair. I'm keeping it honest and cool.
All right.
So tell the people something about yourself and what you're doing and how happy you are to be here. Woo!
I just want to say this actually feels right. This feels much better. What we've been doing in previous years, I don't like. I like this right here. This is the end of the year.
Yeah.
This is the last possible date you could have played a game and could have made it through. And I'm going to tell you right now, I tried so hard to get through Chronos. I have put in the hours and I have wanted to punch my screen numerous times trying to get this game done because it's an awesome game. But there are moments and there are parts, and you can go research this, and it's online, where the developers just decided, you know what, we're going to make you suck. We're going to make you hate your life. And they, I don't know why they keep doing it, but they keep doing it. So I didn't get through it. I tried very hard. I got to the morgue and the hospital. So anybody listening out there, if you got to that point, you all know what I'm talking about. It was crazy, and I could not get through it. Well, I will eventually, don't get me wrong, but I could not get through it last night. And that would have probably been the wall that would have led me at least get to Act 4, which is the last act. And I don't know if I'd have beat it or not, but I'd at least had a shot. But the shot, it missed. And so we got here today without Chronos being able to be rated on the list. And it makes me sad because you know my rules. We don't count them old games. Old games are old. So Chronos, you'll never get a mention. If you were worthy of it, I don't know, but you'll never get it. So I just wanted to say farewell, Chronos. That's all. That's my weekly how do you do. So see, I cheated a little bit.
And I want to jump in and say, you are 100% right. Normally we do this. We have like a week left till the end of the year or like, a little bit left. And especially for me, because over the past week, like literally week since we've done this, I have busted through 2 games. One in like a series of 2 days and one over like 3 or 4. So it feels good to, one of them is on my list. One of them probably should be, but I don't know. It feels weird. I don't know. So it's like, this is right because now is the time. I literally could have played games up until this very second, this very day, because we're recording it on New Year's Eve. And this time it would have meant something because I got through 2 and 1 is here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this one worked out well.
And I'm with you on that as well because I literally started and finished a game this week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Dispatch. So that game got started and got beat all in this week period that we normally would have already done our yearly games. So this game wouldn't even been able to be mentioned, talked about at all. And I tried for Chronos, like I just told you about, and almost got there. So I almost was 2 games added to the possibly to the list of this. So, I just feel like this is great. This is what's rocking and rolling. I like this last second energy going on here. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. And speaking of last second energy, we're going to start the lists with a person who submitted his list like 2 weeks ago. Well, it feels like 2 weeks ago. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago. But it's our buddy Steve, a.k.a. Demented Wizard, in the Discord. He writes, "Hey fellas, it's that time of the year. His first honorable mention is Revenge of the Savage Planet." He writes, "They did a solid job with this game of keeping the vibe from the first game, expanding the open world Metroidvania aspects, and upping the collectibles to find. It was a fun time if you liked the first one." And I haven't played that one, but last time I was on the Game Pass when I was searching and trying to download a bunch of stuff when everything else was updating, that jumped out at me, and I went, maybe the next time this happened is when I'll jump into that, because I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. So that's a good pick.
Awesome, Steve. And we also got another one from one of our awesome listeners out there, Gnomable himself. His first honorable mention is Slip and Slime. He says, "I forgot how much I like block sliding puzzle games. The slime is so cute, and there's a great mix of mechanics while also not being too difficult to solve. I love a good puzzle game myself, and that sounds adorable and fun. I should have played it. I screwed up. messed up.
I missed that stream where he was playing that because I saw it pop up on his YouTube and I went, oh, I would have liked to see some fun slip and slide and puzzle games. But if you want some more, well, you do want some slipping and some sliding and some fun and some cute characters, I'm going to tell you about my first honorable mention, which you heard about last year, because this is an old game, because I don't follow no rules. I don't follow any kind of rules. The only rule is you had to play the game in 2025. Everybody knows that. But my first honorable mention is Astrobot. This is the game that I played inside of 1 week, bing, bang, boom, and got it done. Obviously, anybody knows I played a little bit of it last year, and I had some fun with it, but then something else came out, or I got distracted by this or that or whatever. But you remember from last week on the show, since I bounced off of another game, I wanted to play something that was just fun and made me smile, and Astrobot did that, and it continued to do that all the way through until I beat it. It's just pure fun. It's just fun and happiness and joy and smiles, but it's also tough and hard when you get those challenge levels, when you do the square and triangle and X and circle in each galaxy. Those are tough. I mean, it's not impossible hard, but it's just a lot of fun the whole way through. When you're doing the challenge stuff, when you're doing the easy stuff, it's just got a fun vibe and gives you happy smiles the whole way through. And the other thing I didn't know, because I stopped after the first galaxy and I played a little bit of the second maybe before I fell off last time, is each galaxy is capstoned by a really awesome PlayStation themed level where you play as one of those famous characters with their abilities. So like the second galaxy, you play as Kratos from God of War 2018. You're throwing the axe, you're freezing stuff. It's got all the themes around it. You're playing as Nathan Drake in one of them. You're playing as, Aloy from Horizon. And those are just such a different change of pace because the feel is just like you're in those games. Obviously, it's Astrobotted up, but I didn't expect that at all. And I didn't expect some of the crazy bot selections. It's not a big deal. You're just collecting bots as you go along. But when you see one, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't expect that to be a bot. Cool, I'll take that home. And then it gets its little gotcha machine thing. It gets its little set piece that it gets to play with. It's just a ton of fun. I also jumped into the DLC, did all the speed runs, like straight through. All the speedrun DLC, ton of fun. Also some awesome bots in there. I did start the challenge DLC and I just it wasn't too hard, but I was in the mood for just some happy vibes that day. And so I went, maybe some other day. But I got the platinum in Astrobot. It was a ton of fun. I could finally see now fully why people were putting it on their Game of the Year list last year. It's on my honorable mentions here. Every one of my Game of the Year lists has something that I've played like super recently to recency bias itself right into the list. And Astrobot was it this year.
Well, by golly, that's a good pick there, Mr. Matt. I have one for you. It's my 7th honorable mention, number 7. It's Dispatch. It's the game I just played and beat last week. This would score higher, mind you, but I have rules. There's rules in Eric's brain. Eric abides by rules. He loves to set up structure and have things we go by. And one of those is that if it ain't a game, it ain't a game. And that's why Dispatch doesn't score higher. Because it's not a game. It's just it's an interactive story. And it was damn good. It was a ton of fun. I fell in love with the characters. I had such a great time with the whole thing. My only complaint of this game is that they didn't give you a really great reason, besides a very basic one, to hate the bad guy. Like they kind of cut in the middle of the story. And they filled it in a little bit, but just not quite enough to where I was like, okay, I really hate this dude along with you guys. But I loved the characters, the team, the Z team, fantastic. Loved every moment of the story, the interactive, little boohoos and the cool hacking stuff you had to do in the game. So whenever they'd get these little pickup parts and you could just go hack and you'd have to save somebody from getting in trouble, you had to do it then too. And they just kept on introducing tiny but really fun little mechanics into the hacking. And I thought it was great. I love those little moments. I love sending people out. And this has nothing to do with the game. This just has to do with my luck. This is another reason why I got a little psycho, okay? Because when you go out on these missions, man, you take the Z team and you got to place them in who you think would be best. It gives you kind of like keywords that you got to pay attention to and send out the right teammates. But of course, you never know what the next quest is going to be around the corner. So you have to manage your characters and manage what they're good at, not good at, and then of course the attribute points, so on and so forth. So anyways, when you put the characters in, Matt, there's this damn grid that says, here's your chance of success. And I would always make sure that it's like a 80% usually, at least, and send them off. You know how many times that 10 or 20% failed me? It's I swear, the devil, he sits right here. He's perched right behind me, and he just loves it. He laughs and he cackles as that 10 or 20% chance always pops up, and I fail a mission that it was almost impossible to fail, and I do it. And I just sit here grinding my teeth. I have this stupid D20 right here, and I roll that, and it's like a 20. And I fail that, and I'm like, why? How many times did I yell into that mic over this thing? Oh, my God, I can't tell you. But a fantastic game. I definitely recommend everybody go play it. The only reason it didn't actually score in place is because of one of Eric's in his brain rules. Just want you all to know that.
I did buy it, like we talked about after the show last week, and it was floating in there. If I had not played another game, which you know about, which isn't on this list because I wasn't sure if I should put it on the list. If I hadn't played that, I would have been playing Dispatch, so we would have been in the same boat. But that's going to get played. That'll be one of the first things I play in 2026. And back to our buddy Steve, his next honorable mention is, Eric's going to love it, Power Wash Simulator 2.
Yeah.
He writes, it's better than the first one with some nice incremental improvements. They've got a formula they really had to keep since it resonated so well, so I think there wasn't a lot of room for innovation with this one. I definitely enjoy my zone out time and some of the quality of life updates they made that I'll probably finally delete the first one from my console. It'll be interesting to see all of the expansion packs they add with this one. It's clearly set up expecting to do a lot of them again. That's another great game. For some reason, that didn't hook me as much as the first one did when I played that one for a few days straight. But another great pick. I appreciate Power Wash Simulator 2. I'll be interested to see all the different collabs they have because the first one had like 50 million of them. So I'll be interested to see what this one does too.
And from our buddy Gnomable, his last honorable mention is Toroban. And he says, the world wrapping and worlds within worlds are so cool, even if it completely melts my brain. I don't know anything about this title, but I love getting my brain melted. So good on you. Glad you enjoyed that one.
I definitely agree with that. Talking about worlds warping and being inside of each other, I went, well, maybe I need to actually look this up. So thanks for mentioning that one. And I'm going to mention to you my last honorable mention. And if Eric says Dispatch is not a game, he's going to agree that 1000X Resist is also not a game. But this is a goddamn experience. And I only wish that I hadn't played this. Like, this was the first game that I played in 2025, I'm pretty sure. So I wish I had played it now or played through it again here in December, because this game was mind-blowing. And my memories of it are starting to fragment and go away because I'm an old man, like we said. But this game, it gives you such a bad impression to start off with because everything is jankety. The voice acting is really weird. I don't know if it's professional voice actors or not, but once you stick with it, it goes crazy. It goes to crazy places. You're seeing stuff from the present, from the past, from the future. There's like 4 different storylines you're investigating and finding out about, and characters in each of those storylines. And the impact of some of those characters is crazy. When you're seeing the flashbacks of, I guess I can't say who it is, when you're seeing some flashbacks, God, the dad is such a great character. The mom is such a great character. And then the person you are flashbacking into is just the worst. And it made me so emotional. Like, even in this jankety looking game that doesn't seem like it's going to hold together, it pulls those emotions out of me. And then the story goes insane. It goes to such crazy places. And at certain spots, when it goes to those crazy places, the presentation changes and it's like a brand new game almost. You have really expert camera moves and camera cuts that you wouldn't expect in this kind of a game that you're playing that feels like it's barely going to hold together. And I won't spoil anything, but the ending is what really hooked me. Like I said, you're seeing all these different chunks of time, essentially. So at the ending, you kind of look back, even though some of these people have done really awful things, you get to see them kind of before they did that. That's almost maybe too much, but looking back on those characters and the time you spent with them because you lived through all these different parts, it's incredible. I wish this could be higher, but I'm starting to lose it. I'm starting to lose the connection with it. I'm starting to lose it, but we can't hold on to everything. And sometimes you just don't fit in the backpack. If you played the game, you know it did fit in the backpack, but the details didn't. A phenomenally unique and strange and weird game. It's definitely not for everybody, but it has some moments that I'll never forget. An awesome game, but it can only be an honorable mention. That's a failing of my end, not the game's.
It's funny you mentioned, time passing and everything else and how it kind of dims and fades and changes your opinion of a game. This last honorable mention is a victim of that. But as I look back and pondered, all my games, I think it's fitting where it is, but I think it would have been higher if it had been played closer to right now. And that's Doom: The Dark Ages. I clearly remembering having a ton of fun playing this. I felt like just a powerhouse. They went back to old school Doom in this one, where you're just marching along. You are a tank that needs to destroy everything. You don't run from fights. You don't glide around. You just stand there and you parry and you destroy. And I fell in love with it. I loved every moment of that game. Very clearly remembered that there was never a time where I was throwing the controller or getting PO'd at it. And as I get older, I find that I enjoy that more. I don't want to be stuck on something for an extended period of time. I just don't want to anymore. I like a game that goes, hey, here's some challenge, but never enough to where you're going to get mad. And I go, thank you. Thank you for that. So I appreciate it. And it did the other thing I love, Matt. It gave you a boss fight, an end boss fight, where you're just a god. This boss, he didn't stand a chance. He wasn't meant to. They wanted to make sure that when you went in there, you knew and he knew what was going to happen to the whole scenario. And it played out just like that. You stomped him, you destroyed him, you mangled his body to bits and pieces. And I felt great. I went, yes, I am the hero. I am the hero now. It was awesome. So I feel like this one got lower and lower as the time the year rolled on. But I think it was appropriate because at the end of the day, it was gorgeous. It was fun. It was gruesome and brutal. But there wasn't any true substance to the game. It was just you killing tons of demons and having fun doing it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But of course, for Game of the Year, there's got to be something there for me. There's got to be something I'm going to take to the ages and the memories and go, damn, I remember that part. Oh, that really got me in the heart, or whatever it is that happened, did something. This one just falls short of that. So there you are. Doom, farewell, good sir.
So that's all for the honorable mentions, folks. We're moving into the actual top fives. For me, Eric, and our buddies, and we're starting off with our buddy Steve, aka Demented Wizard. His number 5 is Eternal Strands. He writes, the story and characters in this game are what hooked me. It isn't complex, but it is endearing. The combat in the game was better than expected, and as I haven't played a lot of the boss climbing type games, I really enjoyed that mechanic in this one. The different zone elemental effects on different days added a nice replayability touch, especially when farming for specific resources. This is another one of those games. When I went on the Game Pass and I downloaded a million things, this is one of those games, because I watched a couple reviews of this when it came out. I've heard Steve talk about it before, and it's one that looks interesting to me. Not AAA tier, S tier game, but one of those nice double A's, like a good solid game with some funky power combining abilities. This one's on my list. Maybe I'll play it in 2026. Who knows?
God bless. Y'all are hearing about all these crazy games. I don't even know what these games are. There's so many games. And another one, Gnomable, his number 5 was Hook, Line, and Sniper. He says, a simple game from a dev local to me, but the core movement and grappling are a lot of fun, and it's quick to finish. I love that part. I love the quick to finish. We've talked about it on the show proper a million times, Gnomable, and you know it. We would love more games to be 5-hour, 8-hour just games, and just have a great time and you move on. That's what Dispatch did, and it was glorious and it felt great. And I wish there were more of those, and apparently you found one in Hook, Line, and Sniper, and I'm missing out. Dang it.
And that's one of those things. Hey, if it's a dev that's local to you, and you're a small game dev too, that's awesome. I've seen that in a lot of his streams. He's got devs coming in, talking about their games. He's playing their games. That's pretty cool. Nice connection formed there. Maybe that's another one that I'll write down and check it out, see if I can remember it and fit in the time to play it. But we're talking about games that are quick to play, quick to finish. That is my number 5. And I'm going to tell you right now, I agonized over the spot, folks. There are at least 7 games that I wanted to put here. This was the spot this year. Sometimes it's an honorable mention. Sometimes it's 1 and 2 warring between each other. I wrote down 1 through 4. I wrote my 2 honorable mentions, and number 5 was blank all day long. I literally wrote it in as Eric called me on the Discord. This is a game I didn't get much time with because, well, you know why. It's Luminous Arise. And this is a game that it hooked me from the jump. I knew it would. I've been a Luminous fan for so long, but this is Luminous cranked up to 11 and to 12. there's nothing much more I can say about it that I haven't already said or that people haven't already said. It's the Tetris effect of Luminous games. So you take Luminous, which is already amazing, moving the blocks, rotating the blocks, them adding their sound effects to the music that you're hearing when you drop the blocks, when they hit, when they combine, when the timeline wipes them out. That's adding to the music also. And the music is just flippin' phenomenal. Like, there's some tracks that I'm not the biggest fan of, but there are some when the theme changes and I see that theme come in and then I hear the music, I just know I'm having the best time. The Chameleons, dude, I could listen to the Chameleons track forever. If I could make a playlist of just the Chameleon tracks, I would play that nonstop. But this game is bright, it's colorful, it's musical, it's fun, it's ridiculous. If it didn't bite me right in the butt and screw up my survival run that one time that made me delete it from the console because it wasted 2 hours of my life, I would still be playing it to this day. I would not have played Astrobot. I would not have played the other game that isn't on the list that I played through all the way through and beat. I would still be playing Luminous Arise. Anytime I wanted just some fun and some color and some music, I would be playing it. Anytime I needed a smile on my face, I would be playing it. It's just a phenomenal game. It's not for everybody. But, if you want some rhythm and some music and some puzzle and some just bright colors in your face, just something you can soft focus on and play forever, for all night long, that's what this game is to me. Even though it bit me really hard and screwed me over, it's still a phenomenal game. Like I said, I would still be playing it today if it hadn't done that. So I think it deserves a spot on the list. Number 5, Luminous Arise. You're a phenomenal game. I wish you hadn't screwed me over. I want to play you right now. I want to go install it right now and break my rule. But I can't. But it's number 5.
Gosh, we must be on like a little wavelength here, because my number 5, man, my number 5 is a game I'd still be playing right now to this day. But my bash bro, Mr. Shea, he gave up. He never stuck it out. He didn't keep playing. And the game is great. It's Monster Hunter Wild. That's my number 5. And I would have been playing it all year, because they do nothing but drop more bosses, more things and themes and whole events. It's a whole shindig. It's a world you can kind of live in. But there's 2 reasons. One, my brother in arms, he backed out, and I ended up playing most of this game by myself, which is still fun and glorious, and it was a great time. But it's not the same. And then secondly, the game did something that it shouldn't have done, which was make the gear way easier to make. You go fight one of those monsters once or twice, you'll get all the stuff you need to make the gear for that monster. Now, you'd think that's good, because you know how many times you bitch and complain, oh, why wouldn't it drop a thigh bone when the monster's dead? It should have a thigh bone. It doesn't make any sense. We'd all do that. I've done it. So they went, okay, and now they made it. And here's all the parts of a monster. Okay, do it again. Everything's made. Okay, I never have to hunt this monster again. It's 100% done now. And so I did all that, and I moved on, but pretty soon I had the very best gear I could possibly have in the game, and I was a maniac, felt great, having fun, but that was it. So I stopped, and of course, never went back, never got to experience any of the DLCs and everything else. But the base game, even with just the base game being played, my top played game of all year, man. 100-something hours. So obviously, it's got to be on the list. You don't play a game for 100-something hours and go, oh, nope, that didn't cut the mustard. No, it's there. But because I didn't have my partner, and because it was pretty darn easy, I hear it's fixed now, but I wouldn't know. That's where it only placed number 5. But it's still a great game, a beautiful world. Love, the characters are just the characters, but I do love them all, all the same. They're very unique looking. And then they got some cool skins for them. So you can go all crazy if you want. Remember those Street Fighter skins? Oh, man, what a time. It was good. Good. So Monster Hunter Wilds, appreciate you. Number 5 this year. I'm glad I could spend 100-something hours with you.
Rolling on into number 4, our buddy Steve has an entry that it might be on our Game of the Year list next year when we put some more time into it, as we agreed that we will, because his number 4 is Borderlands 4. He writes, this game has been a ton of fun and soaked up so many hours of my time already. They nailed the just around the corner, there's something else to do, so you never feel like you have to slog a long time to find action. I like the openness and connectivity of the world, but in some ways I miss the more specialized regions like caustic caverns, etc., that add more zone variety. I anticipate the DLCs will bring some of that into the game, and I look forward to continuing to play. Well, gosh, I look forward to continuing to play that one also. That's one, I know Eric has said this to me before, but I almost wanted to boot up a side character and play some of it to get up to roughly where we are because we haven't played for a long time. But it's just fun. It's that perfect open world style too, like Steve says here, where even if I did that, I would do so many things. I would probably play for like 20 hours before I got to the story point where we actually dropped off because there's just so much crap to do in that game in the best way. So I'm looking forward to playing more of that. We said we're going to start doing it again, and we need to do it because it's a great game.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun what we played so far. The only reason we didn't was just because it's tough. You know, we busy this, busy that. Friday hits, somebody's got a show, somebody's got to go do a family function. Oh, holidays are here. You know how it goes. It's just been a pain in the butt. But I will tell you, if you did start a side character, Matt, yeah, you're just going to do all the side stuff. Because I did too. You just start doing it. It's just natural. And then all the little events that pop up, you just go around and do those too. You start looking for the caches. Next thing you know, it's been a million hours. You're like, oh, I was just going to do the missions and stay caught up. Oh, too bad. So sad. And Gnomable's got one for us. His number 4 was Merge Maestro. And he says, the merge mechanic in this Balatro alike is well done, and I'm surprised how much content I got for free on mobile. There's the keyword mobile. I don't know what this game is because it's a mobile game, but that sounds really cool, especially if it's free, Gnomable. And that sounds like fun. Merging and Balatro. What's Balatro?
I know merging is like a big thing. I played some other merge game, and it was kind of fun, and that one was free too. So maybe I'll check this one out. If you say Balatro alike and other mechanics too, that sounds good to me. And what also sounds good to me is my number 4. And this is the game, again, I think I played this like in March or sometime earlier in the year. So a lot of the specific memories were fading. But what I did was I streamed this game. So I went back to my VOD channel and I went, this game needs to be on the list, right? And I started watching it. And I just fell in love all over again. And this game is Cryptmaster, the black and white word puzzling, riddle solving, not turn-based, real-time RPG-ish, but it's almost like you're playing Typing of the Dead or something because you have to type out the skills of each of your 4 characters to make them do the skills to do the damage, but you got to watch on the screen for what that enemy is weak to or strong against because some block anything with a D in it. You can't hit them with a word or a skill that has a D in it. It's insane. It's crazy, but it's so funny and ridiculous. And I'm a person who likes crosswords. I like Wordle. I like riddles. I like word puzzles. I like word anything. The entire mechanic of the game is all of those things. So it just was up my alley in so many ways. Plus, on top of it, it's got that step-by-step first-person dungeon crawling, and you're looking at the beautiful like square map, and you're going around every single corner, like Etrian Odyssey or any of those games like that. That scratches the itch for me. You add in just the word puzzles, the hundreds of riddles when you go talk to a skull. It literally just tells you a riddle, and it shows you how many letters are in the answer, and you just got to puzzle it out. And the way that after you beat an enemy, it shows the enemy's name, and you pick certain letters out of that name, and those fill in the skills for your 4 heroes. It scratches that crossword itch, that Wordle itch. Again, this game is not for everybody, but it's goddamn sure for me. Even on top of that, just watch my streams and watch how many times I'm dying laughing at what the Cryptmaster is saying, what the other characters are saying. The weird, cool graphical style, like the drawn black and white art style. It's so unique. It's so cool. The music's great. Playing it on stream with our buddy Gnomable in the chat, guessing answers too, when you know that you got it before he did, and you're like, oh yeah, I got this one. He was like, oh, I didn't even have a chance to look at it, think about it. No, I got that one. But then he saves your bacon when you're completely blanking on something. It's super unique. It's super fun. I was hooked. I watched all 3 of my streams again. I had them in the background today when I was working from home. And I was just like, yeah, there it is. Oh, yep, I remember that riddle. I remember being stuck on this one, but I immediately remember what it is. The only thing I will say is I wish I could replay it because out of all the skills and backstory you can get in your characters, I don't think I got even halfway through all of those. But I can't play it again because watching it, I remember almost every single riddle and every single solution. But that game is just a blast. I probably only played 6 hours to get through it across 3 streams, roughly somewhere around there. But it stuck with me all the way here until December. and it's a great game. I recommend it to everybody, even though it's not for everybody. Cryptmaster, a phenomenal game, a great experience. Had a ton of fun streaming it. Everybody should go check it out.
Well, this one coming up here, number 4, number 3 on my list, they switched spots like 3 different times. But here we are, and I got to say one of them. We're going to settle on what I put on this damn paper for the last time. And that's Silent Hill F. Falling in at number 4 this year. I was confident that this game was going to be good. I was never worried about it really. I had full faith in it, but I didn't know if it was going to be Silent Hill worthy. I was like, okay, this is going to be like a medium, this is going to probably be a good game, but yeah, just a kind of survival horror run of the mill. What this team did was freaking phenomenal. They took Silent Hill, took it out of Silent Hill, which was the number one worry, the key issue. And I will say, for the record, that at the end of the day, I still hope they return to Silent Hill proper. I just feel like the town means something to the whole essence of what makes Silent Hill. But I also got to say, they did a damn fine job of taking you out of there, but giving you the dark, twisted, what the hell is going on vibe of Silent Hill. So they did it, but they did it in a uniquely Japanese way and using all sorts of weird Japanese folklore, artwork, etc., and even dealing with some very Japanese themes, issues that are something that happens even to this day over there in Japan that isn't such a big thing here any longer. So I appreciated it. I loved all the monsters in this game. Very unique, very different. The variety was really good. And even when they started to use the same baddie type, they would look different. They would give them ones would have more mucus on them or more flowers on them. Same enemy type, but just change it up just enough to where I was not sick of just seeing the same exact thing over and over again. So kudos to them. The environments, as I said, were gorgeous and beautiful and scary and unnerving in some places. There's a period in the town at the end of the game, late stage, where the mists and the colors are just point perfect, spot on. And then, of course, the flowers and the blood and, like I said, the biomass gore and everything, just intense. And you're like, what is going on? I want out of this place now. And that's what they wanted you to feel, and that's damn sure what I did feel. The only downside is this isn't a one playthrough game, which I only played through once. So I technically beat it. So I can say where I want it to be. But if you play again, you get a really cool experience, not quite as crazy as you would with one of our favorite Nier Automatas, but you get different things happen. Different scenes play a little bit differently. Different characters say different things. You're going to get that experience, and you're going to uncover more of what actually happened to this family, to her friends in the story, because it really ends abruptly, and you do not get the final, oh my God, this is the whole picture. You just get no, you didn't understand what was going on at all, did you? And you're like, oh, no, I didn't, I guess. What the hell? You get that. So kudos to Silent Hill F. A brand new team made something that stays in the Silent Hill world, and that's all you can be asked of. I can't wait to see what they work on next, because I will definitely be playing it.
And speaking of something else you should be playing, because I know you didn't finish this game, Eric. It's our buddy Steve's number 3. It's Avowed. He writes, this was an excellent RPG. The companions were really well done, and getting them as each act progressed felt right and kept the game refreshing. I enjoyed being able to change my character type over time, from magic to more of a brawler, without having to restart the game with a new character. The environments were lush, and the story was well done. It was just a little bit too long, in my opinion, but I understand why games err on the side of too much over too little. 100% agree with what you said there, Steve. That's a phenomenal game. That was one of the ones that I thought about pushing into my number 5 slot, but it's been so long since I played it. But like you said, changing from magic to gun guy in my case, without having to respec everything, redo everything, it felt so good. The environments are beautiful. I love the companions too. You said it all, Steve. It's all right there. I can't add too much more, but a great game.
I'll just add to that real quick. I didn't finish it. Was deep into Act 3 or in early Act 4, I think. Or deep, I don't remember where. It was very, very much endgame. I think it was early Act 4. But I will say, the characters, the side characters for me, I didn't fall in love with as much, but what I did fall in love with a ton of that game was just the treasure. Everywhere you went, you could find treasure. If you thought that weird hole-shaped thing might be a treasure or something, it probably was. And that was just awesome. And then on top of it, they even said it in an interview at some point. I don't remember when because it's been forever. But you could find the best weapons and armor in the game through finding just a random box in a hole in the mountain. They were like, yeah, we very specifically made sure that some of the stuff is endgame material that you're finding for no reason whatsoever other than that you just looked in that area and found it. And that's awesome to me because that just feels more real life. Like if I was on an adventure in a mystical land, there's going to be treasures, there's going to be shit hiding places, and games don't do that usually. Usually it's a very, you got to go beat Gigatoad 7, and that's how you're going to get the Sword of Azorius, and we all know it. This game kind of flipped that and went, no, you can go find it if you just look under the cardboard box over here. Cool beans. Yes. So definitely love that one too.
Not to keep going on about it, but it felt kind of Borderlands 4 in that respect. Like, I wonder if there's something up there. There's always something up there. There's always something cool to do, or there's a character standing there going, oh man, if you could help me with something, and then you go do that something, but on the way to the something, you'd go and find a little cache behind a rock in a cave, fight a bear. Just a ton of fun stuff everywhere. Really enjoyed it.
Indeed. And with that, we've got Gnomable's number 3. And he's coming in here with Mario Kart World. And he says, it's mostly more Mario Kart, but the Rainbow Road track at the end was an incredible experience. And I can tell you, yes, it was Gnomable. Mario Kart World was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing the hell out of it. But I gotta say, this is the first Mario Kart where I just didn't feel like I was going to keep playing because I don't have any friends and I don't have any people we play like Mario Kart with anymore. It used to be you'd come over, we would drink beers, we'd play Mario Kart, or I would just be in the barracks or just playing Mario Kart for no reason, or my apartment, or my first house. There was always friends or family or people to be playing it with. This was the first one where everyone's like, nah, brah, we're good. I'm like, oh, I'm the only one going to play, huh? Yeah, you're the only one who's playing that game. Oh, okay. Kids, you want to play? Nah, not really, Dad. We're good. Okay. So I just put it down. But you know what? I'm glad for you. It made your top 5 because it is a well done damn Mario Kart and everybody's in it and the tracks are phenomenal.
And I agree with everything you said, except I haven't even picked it up because it's just, I don't know, something about it. I got it in the bundle. I downloaded it, but then I was immediately playing something else, which is on this list. And I'm just like, oh man, I should play that because I played so many of the other ones. But like you said, I always had somebody immediately to go play it with, or, you know, it was at a buddy's house or he was at my house. And it felt too lonely in my head to go do it, even though there's the open world and stuff you can do. Maybe I'll get around to playing that in 2026. But a game that I did play and I did beat in 2025, and this one kind of warred with Cryptmaster a little bit. I wrote this one down in the number 3 spot first, and then I debated and I went, well, this one's more recent. I have more fresh memories of it. It's Hades 2. Now, when they announced they were working on Hades 2 right after Hades 1, I was a little disappointed because I loved all the stuff that Supergiant does. I was a little worried that they jumped in here with Hades 2. They went and did the early access thing, which I never touched. But I finally was hearing so much good stuff about it on release. If you love Hades, this is double that. It's double the game. And I won't specify why. I talked about that on the What You Play in Third Shift. So if you want some spoiler action, definitely check that out. But if you wanted more Hades, you literally got 2 Hadeses in your Hades 2. Now, I was also trepidatious when I first started because in Hades, you got all the big hitters. All the side characters were the big hitters who had story arcs that you could see past what the myths said. And, you know, Supergiant developed it so well. So starting here in Hades 2, there's a lot of the B-tier characters. You know, your assistant characters, your friends you see out in the dungeon, the people who are at the home base. They're kind of B-tier characters, depending on how you feel about them. That's how I felt about them. And I went, man, how is this going to get better than Hades 1 did? And it did. Those B-tier characters, every run you did, when you learned more about them, it fleshed them out and built them up. After I've beat it, you know, I did so much stuff. I smashed through it. I destroyed the end boss. It was ridiculous. But even I haven't progressed some of those people past level 1 or 2. So there's so much more that I can do in here. But some of the experiences that I've seen already with the people I've maxed out and even the people I almost barely touched, like you meet someone named Dora. There's a little ghost who's hanging out in your home base. You don't know anything about her. She's kind of a weird, kind of apathetic character. Like she's forgotten a bunch of stuff. During my very last run, when I went and beat this boss so I could go beat the final boss, I was given the first hint of who and what Dora actually is. And because I'm a smart boy, I extrapolated it out and I literally stood here and I gasped and I went, holy shit, that's who that is. Now, I'm not going to say it. I'm probably even saying that has spoiled it. But they do such a great job of piecemealing out the stories, people's backstories, their interactions with the other gods and other side characters that you see. Everything you loved from Hades 1, it's here in Hades 2, but just double it because there's 2 times the boons, the gods, the this, the that, the other thing. It's insane. The whole new range of weapons, it's so much fun to play with. The pets that you get that augment your stuff just a little bit, but sometimes it's just enough to get you over that hump that you're fighting on and to progress you further in the game. It's just phenomenal. I won't say anything about the ending. I've talked about that on What You Play in Third Shift, but I loved the ending to this game. Just great. Phenomenal graphics, music, action, fun. This game's great. It was great. It didn't hook me for as long as Hades 1 did, but I enjoyed my time with it supremely. Every little twist they threw on the formula made this one even better than the first one, which I think was like my number 3 in the year that released. So Hades 2, a phenomenal game. If you have never played Hades 1, I recommend both, but you can just play this one because it's more and it's better and it's even bigger and broader than that one is. If you did play Hades 1, definitely play Hades 2. A great game. It's my number 3 this year.
Yeah, that one almost sucked me in again, Matt, but the smarter Eric, he prevailed. He didn't do it. But it looks so gorgeous. And the artwork always gets me. And then just the thought of getting a really cool build, and that all does it. Does the trick. But we got to learn our lesson someday, and we did. We can't play roguelites, Eric. You just can't. It's not. Stop it. Can't waste money on it. But definitely tempting. So I still am tempted. Hearing you talk about it, I go, maybe it'll be like on sale for $5.99 or something. I'll go pick it up then. No biggie. No pressure then. So anywho's, my number 3, as I already told you, was contested for also number 4, but it ended up picking the spot right here at number 3, and that's Ghost of Yotei. And the reason why is because this game is just damn gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the fighting mechanics are bar none just so much fun. I had nothing but a great time with all the different weapons. And that's what made this one special to me as well, is because once you got good at what you're doing, you were switching weapons like nobody's business. You knew exactly what classes were best against what weapon. And I didn't mess around with it. I thought for sure I was going to find my favorite and just power through and whatever. No, sir. I started being a little ninja. I'm like, oh, bloop, 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 this weapon, bam, bam, bam. Oh, flip back to this weapon, bam, 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 bam. And I never got bored of fighting. It just never happened. There were a couple fights that were intense, really difficult. And funny enough, the second to the last boss was actually, to me, way harder than the last boss. And of course, I was going to platinum this, but I've got 2 things left to do. One is I got to search for some stupid thing I missed, which is like a needle in a haystack because this world is huge. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. You know, one of the little like painting sites or emails. I'm going to have to do pull them all up on the map. And I don't know which one. So I got to run to literally start to do the grid thing, run to every single one. And so that was one thing that detracted. And then the second is that you got to beat the man on the mountain. You got to beat old boy up on the mountain. And I went, I know I can do it. I can. I know I can. But oh boy, I've already almost tossed the controller a couple times because of this. But remember, I wasn't maxed out yet. I was fighting him beforehand. So I'm sure now that I'm end game and done and got all my stuff, I could probably go back and get them. But those 2 things added up, and I went, Eric, you don't have time to platinum stuff right now. Go get down to the next game, which is what I did. But I'm just saying, musically, game's wonderful. Graphically, game's wonderful. Character-wise, I loved all the side characters that you had to go to get your different weapons. I love their personalities and their little storylines that you had with them to get said weapons and master said weapons. I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the story overall. Very simple, very basic, but sometimes that makes sense. And in this particular story, I felt it fit really well. And I loved just this went down, and I don't care about nothing else in this world except for doing this damn thing. I'm not going to have a family. I'm not going to do anything else. I respect that. That was neat. And I had a great time overall with this game. Hence why it is my number 3.
That's a game I forgot about because it's a stream game for me. But when you said your number 4, you might have seen it like my face. I went like, huh? Silent Hill number 4. What's 2 and 3 then? Because I'm pretty sure I know what number 1 is. I have no clue what your number 2 is or is going to be. So I'm looking forward to hearing what that is. But moving on to another number 2 from a buddy, Steve. His number 2 is South of Midnight. He writes, "This game stands above so many others because it was unique and because it was short, about 15 hours to completely beat. In a world of too many games, I'm really starting to value games that can tell their story and give you a unique experience, but don't make you repeat the same loop for another 60 plus hours to feel like you've experienced it all. The Southern Bayou vibe was incredibly well done and matched with the pretty good story. Backtracking to find all the hidden things was kind of fun, but admittedly kind of annoying sometimes too. I did really like the surround sound positional whisper mechanic instead of a line in the sand pointing you in a direction. That seems so clever and fitting into the world for me. Probably what stood out the most about this game was the music. As a level progressed to different points, the music would amp up and the lyrics, written specifically for that moment in the game, matched the escalation and really upped the immersiveness for me. I highly recommend giving this game a try just to get its feel because it was special." And I 100% agree with you on that one, Steve. The music in this game, the way that you'd get little hints about what was coming. Like there's a certain area in the game where part of the music is there's a little whisper of what the boss of that section is going to be. And like he says, as you unlock pieces and you progress further in that zone, it adds to the music. And the music starts coming in fuller and clearer, and you really start getting hyped. It's so cool. No other game I've seen has ever done that. So as much as I did sort of have issues with the game and kind of get tired of it by the end, that was super cool. Presentation on the game is awesome. I'm glad he gave it a high ranking because it's a really cool and very unique game.
And, of course, we have Gnomable with his number 2 pick as well. You've got Peak. And he says, "I watched so many clips on social media, and when I finally got to play with friends, it was a total blast, a fantastic game. And you know what? I've only watched this one via a bunch of streamers, and it does look like a lot of fun. It looks like a hoot. But as we always say, I don't have friends, and I don't play with them online, so therefore I did not play this title, but very good for you. Awesome pick. Peak is definitely a great game, because I have watched many streamers play it, and it does look like a lot of fun."
Yeah, I feel like if we still had 2 other friends to play this with, because I think it goes up to 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we still had 2 friends to play this with, we would probably love doing it. But since it's just you and me, either I would kick you off the mountain or you would drop me off the mountain, and we go, "Oh, okay." And one would laugh and not the other would laugh, versus us dropping 2 other idiots down the mountain, and then we could both laugh and then drink a beer
Yes.
and have a good time.
Until they quit.
We wouldn't have 2 friends for a long time.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened.
But that's a good pick, as well as my number 2 pick. Now, this is a game I put 116 hours into. I went back and I checked. And as Eric said, when you put over 100 hours into a game, you can't not put it on your list. This one, it wouldn't war with number 1, but as soon as I was making my list, I wrote down number 2, and without even thinking, I wrote the name of this game. So it's absolutely my number 2 pick. It's Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I streamed this game too, and if anybody watched my streams, if anybody heard me talk about it all through my time that I was playing it here on the podcast, the game itself is great. The storyline's a lot of fun. I really like some of the characters, but that's not what this game is number 2 for. This game is number 2 for hooking me in. It put its claws into me. This is kind of like Luminous Arise. When I got up in the morning on a free day, I'd go, "Man, I want to play some Death Stranding 2. I can't do story though, but I can do deliveries. I can go just get resources from everywhere. I can go build up every single mine. I can go build up every single monorail. I can go build every single road." And that's what I did for hours. I played this game so long that my hands hurt for days afterwards at least 2 times. I put in like a 12-hour session of driving my truck and getting my stuff and climbing the thing and building this and upgrading that and doing everything. And it literally hurt my hand for days afterwards. And I went, "You can't do that, dummy. You got to remember this and don't do it again." A week later, I did it again because there's just something about this beautiful world, this beautiful, weird, messed up, strange world. I don't know what it is, because if I tell you, "Man, I really loved going to mines and getting resources and then taking the resources somewhere and building something," it sounds boring. It sounds dumb. Any gamer is going to go, "Yeah, but you just shoot something?" No, I just drove my truck and I listened to a podcast. I listened to a ton of podcasts, or I just put on some music, or I didn't listen to anything. I just drove around and heard the time fall spattering against the roof of my truck. And when my truck got busted, I drove it to the next place with a garage and I fixed my truck. It sounds boring, and it sounds, I don't know how to describe it though, because it put its hooks into me. Just playing it on my own, scaling mountains, either on foot or on the truck, and just taking a moment, even though I've scaled this mountain 10, 15, 20 times, just pausing at that peak and going, man, looking up at the sky with the moon all weird and giant and huge, looking down at the entire landscape and just taking a moment, just going, man, I can't believe I get to play a game that is as beautiful as this game. Like, we thought games were phenomenal before, and I know in the future games will look 10 times better than this somehow. This is like the most beautiful game I've ever played. There's something about doing the deliveries in this weird world. But then on top of that, there is the story, because there's Higgs and there's Tomorrow. And their scenes are just either amazingly epic and just make me like clap my hands and go, oh yeah, Higgs is here. Or they're the most insanely epic, crazy shit I've ever seen. Tomorrow's action scenes, when she first does her first action scene, oh my God, it's insanity. It's crazy. Now, the story, I figured everything out. The big twist, I knew that from the second that a thing happened. I won't spoil anything. I was calling it in every stream. The big twist wasn't the thing. It was just the ride, taking it with these crazy characters. That insane finale with Higgs and all the crazy stuff you end up doing at the end of that game. Do I really know what went on in some of those scenes? No, but it's just epic and weird, and it's so Hideo Kojima. And I eat up all that weird, auteur, strange, goofy, sometimes doesn't make sense. Sometimes I'm confused about what I'm doing. I eat that up with a spoon. And I did here too. And then outside of all the story and the weirdness, there's just that delivery. Being Sam Porter Bridges and doing the things. If I had more time and gumption to platinum this, I would absolutely do it. Just yesterday, I was looking through my trophy list on here going, how long is that going to take? Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should reinstall this and do it. But a phenomenal game. Death Stranding 2, it's my number 2 this year. What a game.
Well, man, let me tell you, I did have fun watching you play some Death Stranding 2, okay? I just want to say that first off foremost. And I did have fun spoiling some of the story for myself by watching streamers play and getting bits and pieces. And I, gotta love Fragile. Great gal. But, Kojima, I don't know. Man, that good old crazy. His next game's the one for me. He's got that horror game coming out, Overdose.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. That's where I get picked up, swooped in. He's going to pick me up. And he's going to carry me away, good old Hideo. But he ain't doing it this year, Matt. And this year, number 2.
What is it?
Was a war. It was a war. There's 2 games, but one of them breaks one of Eric's rules.
Uh-oh.
So even though it stood here and it contended, I got to abide by the rules. So it's the other game. It's Silent Hill 2 Remake, Matt.
Huh.
No, I can't. That one breaks the rules too. That came out in October last year.
Yeah, that's not a this year game.
Oh, no. But I didn't beat it till February. That's why I was there. Oh, no. But the other one breaks the rules too. Oh, no. This is 2 breaking the rules. I did it. I did it. I already did it. It doesn't matter. Oh, no.
I was going to say we did this with Cyberpunk because that came out like in December and it went into our next year. So
yes.
We've already established that rule breaking is what we do. So,
oh, man. That's a bummer. Yeah, because I didn't finish this till February of this year. So technically it was a game I beat this year, even though I played a bunch at the end of last year, but I didn't get to the end until, this year. So it counted. So that's why I warred with the other one. And then whatever reason, my mind blanked because it's probably Silent Hill and I love Silent Hill so much. But Silent Hill 2 Remake was what I had number 2 spot. I don't even really got to talk about it. That's the whole thing is everybody's heard me gush about Silent Hill 2 in general, like a million bajillion times. But the remake was spot on. I mean, I'm absolutely telling you, spot on. You could not have done a better job with this remake. It carried the vibe, it carried the characters, it carried the scenery, it carried everything over 100%. It's definitively one of those games that, when you play a game, you love it. And it's in your head, and you're like, oh, this game, but then you go back, and it looks like complete ass, and it actually doesn't play out real well. This is a game that got remade to be what it was in your head when you played it 500 years ago. And to get those moments, that's rare. So for me, it was everything. It was just great to be able to be right back in this game, one of my favorite titles ever, and play it again. So having seen that I didn't beat it until this year, I could not help but put it on this damn list as where it should be, number 2, even though now I just broke my rule, so I'm not happy about this, which also makes things weirder in my head because my other number 2 is Unicorn Overlord, because I played that for like 110 hours and freaking loved the hell out of that game, but it was old game is old, I didn't play it 5-6 years ago when it came out, so I wasn't gonna put it on. That's probably why, because that game's like old. I'm like, oh, that's an old game. That's why. Damn it, man! I broke my own rules, but I don't care.
I think that game probably came out last year also, because I had the box set here, so I
don't know when these games come out.
I wouldn't have been able to guess either of those for your number 2. I mean, I remember you talking about them this year, especially Unicorn Overlord, obviously, because you got into it.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just like, whoosh, it just disappeared. It's gone.
Me and my drama mama, my big lady, she was swooping me up, taking me to the sheets. She told me so, Matt. She told me so, literally.
But now we're going on to number 1, the big kahuna. And we're starting with our buddy, Steve. And his number 1 is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. He writes, wow, this game knocked it out of the park and has been talked about so much, I'll try to keep it brief. It got its hooks into me early with a captivating story and curiosity, and later with tactical turn-based combat and endgame builds. The music, environment, traversal mechanics, chef's kiss. They deserve the many accolades they've received. I can't wait to dive back into the free update and enjoy that world a little longer. And he also closes his email with, there you have it. Can't wait to hear how your guys' final rankings turn out. Happy holidays, because he actually sent it before the holidays, is how early he got. Steve. Great pick, Steve. According to anybody in the world except for me, we talked about it in the Discord. I don't know what my problem is, but hey, it's a pick that everybody agrees with. Everybody on Earth, everybody on the planet, so it's a good pick.
I want to be so mean and just yell at Matt all the time about this whole thing, but I'm not gonna. It's not gonna happen. So, Steve, what a great choice. It is definitely a good game, for sure. And, of course, somebody else with a really good game over here is Gnomable. He's got his number 1 pick this year, 2025, being Replicate. And he says, this memory match Balatro is fantastic and it's cool. I got to be just a small part of its creation. Congratulations, that's freaking awesome. And then he says, I played a lot more of this than I thought I would. Noble, that's awesome. That is awesome that you got a little part in this. And of course, that game is actually really cool looking and it deserves to be where it needs to be, which is your damn number 1.
Now, I've seen him in the streams playing some Replicat. I've seen the dev in his streams talking about Replicat, talking about like the dev page and the demo page and all that other stuff. So it is pretty cool to see it kind of progress as he's been playing new versions of it. And I think we should say, we assume this is your 5 through 1 because your numbers are a little weird.
Yeah, maybe it's upside down.
It goes 5 through 9 in the Discord. And hey, it looks like a fun game. I loved memory matching games as a kid. And you know I love Balatro. So a little combination of that plus cats. What more do you want?
Meow, kitty cat. Yeah.
So moving on to my number 1. Everybody knows what it is. There's no way it could be anything else. This is a game I put 205 hours into this year. It ate up my entire life. Now, I will say, when I first got into it, it was pretty damn good, and I liked it. But then I hit like a little slump bit. And I don't know why, but I put this aside for maybe like a month and a half. But once I got back into it, this game chewed up all my time. And especially once I hit a very important point, then it consumed my entire life until it was completely done. Until I reached all 100 endings in the 100-line Last Defense Academy. I am so sad that this is not on more Game of the Year lists. I love watching Game of the Year lists. On YouTube's, I love reading them on websites. This does show up every now and then, but it's like people's, oh, this is a pretty fun game, and their write-up is like 6 sentences. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I like the characters. This game is everything, because this game is like 23 games in one game. This game is so much. And if you just sit down and play it, you get a really cool storyline about these. I think it's like 13 different characters. They're all in a school. They have regular attacks by these weird invaders, these weird creatures. And all they know is they have to defend the school for 100 days, and then something good's going to happen. And the ups and the downs that they go through in storyline, in the battles, it's crazy. It's nuts. And you have no idea what's coming next. You go on a roller coaster ride. And then I really want to spoil the end of the 100 days, but something happens and you get, I really want to say it, you get the option to start making choices. And that's where this game goes from one cool storyline, where you're doing really cool tactical battles with these really cool characters, with really cool abilities, and you're upgrading them, and you're talking with them outside of the battles and outside of the storyline things, and you're getting close to these characters, and you feel like you're starting to get to know them. But until that thing happens and you can start making the choices, you don't know anything. You know absolutely nothing about these characters, because once you can start making those choices, things change so dramatically. Like I said, there's like 22 different storylines you can go on in this game. 22, 23 if you count the original. I can't remember. I didn't go back and count them. But stuff goes so crazy. It's so nuts. There's so many different themes of storylines that you can go down as a result of all of your different decisions. I'll just say one of them, it's like a complete comedy storyline. Just the wackiest, silliest stuff is happening. But inside of that, it also branches out like 3 or 4 different ways. So you're laughing the whole way through on this path where this thing happens. But then on this path, it's a completely different thing that's happening. On this path, it's something totally different. It's insane how many storylines, how much text, how much character development there is in this game. And I mentioned it, all the different storylines, you don't know the characters. But by playing each of those, I'm pretty sure almost every single one of those 13 characters, one of them has one of those storylines is developed all around them. They really get fleshed out. There's a character in this game who is wacky and over the top and wild and is one of Eric's favorite characters. You don't know anything about that character until you see this storyline that's focused all around her. She lets down the mask and she lets you see her. And without playing through the first storyline and this next one, you don't understand anything about that character. And I'm not saying that to, disparage anybody. I'm just saying that character is this, but in this storyline, you find out about her. In this storyline, you realize what he's all about. In this story, it's insanity. So by the time that you play 205 hours, which nobody has but me, once you play through 22 different storylines, there's not a bad character in this whole group of 13. You love everybody. You love every single character. When you see them on screen and you know that character, you know their backstory, even in a storyline where that doesn't exist, it puts a little different thought in your head. You're like, oh no, I know we're something. This is something here. And on top of that, in those branching storylines, your battles are getting crazier. Your abilities are getting crazier because now you have the time and the resources as you're going through all these different storylines to build up everybody to their max potential, to build up all of your combat items to their max potential. I went through so many battles in the end game that are like, if I said them to a person who's only playing through the first storyline of this game, the battle would be impossible for them. Literally impossible. There's no way you can do enough damage for this. I went through so many of those battles. The enemy didn't even get a turn because I just kept chewing through abilities and cycling things and putting out massive damage everywhere. It's so cool the heights you get to go to in this game. And I'll close it out by saying, there's 100 endings. Some of them are goof endings. Some of them are just, you made a bad decision, everybody died, that kind of a thing. But there's 2 endings in here that are just perfect. One is when you go through the 100 days, something happens. Like I said, there's the initial cause for you to be able to start making choices. It's a mirror image of that in the most insane and crazy way. You learn so many secrets in that storyline that leads to that ending. It's dark and agonizing, and you feel grief and anguish as you're playing through it, but it's so beautiful because of what happens at the end. And I went, that's the perfect ending. That's the canon ending. And then I went and I played through all the other storylines. And by playing through all the other ones, you unlock the ability for the best ending, which literally brought tears to my eyes. Seeing the thing that you were able to finally do. These characters have been through so much. You've been through so much with them. I myself went through 205 hours with each of these characters. So to see the best ending was the best thing. I would recommend this game to anybody and everybody. It won't be for everybody. Definitely not everybody has 205 hours to put into it. But those 2 endings, the ride that you go on, even if you can't see all the endings, god damn, this game is something special. The creator even said once, and I reference this all the time, he says, I think this is the last time you can or will ever see a game this big that's written without AI, 100% by human writers who thought up all these different storylines, all these different depths of characters, all these different roller coaster rides for you to go on with them. It's a masterful achievement. I can't believe how much game is in here. It's incredible. It could not be anywhere other than number one. As soon as I was done with it, it was number one on my list. However many months it's been, nothing can top this year or for a long time. If things could carry over, this would be my number one for like 5 years. An incredible game, an amazing game. I wish I could talk more about it. Eric's still on his way to day 100.
We're getting there, damn it, man.
And I know you don't have enough time to do everything else, but God, if you did, this is something like nothing else. It's insane and it's crazy and it's wonderful. It's my game of the year this year.
Nice pick for sure. I definitely have had fun with it myself, so can't complain. That's a great number one pick right there. That's a good one. And of course, everybody already knows mine. It's not a secret. It's Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Of course, that's going to be my game of the year this year. It was a phenomenal game. I fell in love with it immediately. The artwork, and just the general theme and the music had me from the word go. As soon as this game started up, I was already in it to win it. You're over here, Gustav, going to your love. It's a very somber scenario. But then, of course, your little sister, she tries to lighten the mood. And then you, of course, catch up with your old love, your old flame. And the gommage is happening. And she happens to be a part of that year's gommage. And it's just very sad, very dreary. And then you find out you're going on an adventure to try to kill the paintress, Matt. You're going to do it. You and this team, Expedition 33, are going out. And guess what? No expedition to date has come back and saved the day. The paintress is still there. So on top of it already being somber, you get even more despair because you guys already pretty much know you're just going to die. You're going out to die. But it's a symbol, and it gives the people hope that maybe this time, it's like playing the lotto. Can't win if you don't play. So they have to at least try. And then you go out and stuff goes sideways, and it's a whole damn adventure. The story, it goes a lot of different places, and it's another one of those games where what you think is happening, it's not happening. It's a whole different thing happening, and you're only touching the surface by the time you beat this game. And I can't wait. And that's when it really made sense when they said the game's title is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This was just a game about Expedition 33. But the world as a whole and it's like a Final Fantasy at this point. Clair Obscur is the Final Fantasy. And then whatever the subtitle is what that particular game is going to be about. And I went, oh my goodness, I'm in it. I can't wait to see them put out the next Clair Obscur and where it goes. Because they can go any way they want to. That's what's insane, is you've got a billion other expeditions you could go do a whole game about. Because when you're playing this game, you're getting all these awesome memos and sheets and memories of the different expeditions and just some antics or betrayals or whatever, heroic moments that some of the other team members have had over the years. And you'll see signs of where they existed and where they fought and where they paved the way, as they say, for you to go further. And it's just incredible. Not only that, like I said, they can go into the future post this because, without huge spoilers, there's way more that's going on. And there's an entire war happening that you don't even know about in this game for the good chunk of it. So they could go on with that, and I can't wait to see it. Because Sandfall, with a smaller team, made an incredible game that just blew my mind away with the amount of tactical RPG, just intricacies that were involved in this. But of course, not only just that, the straightforwardness of it. So if you wanted to partake in the strategy, they got all the different skill trees going on, and then the stains where you add in these abilities on top of what your skill trees can already do. And then, of course, the synergy that you had to think about with your teammates. This is one of those ones where, based off the skill trees and the different stains that you can put in to give you perks, anybody could have a completely different character. I could be like, oh, my Lune is a tank. And you'd be like, oh, no, she's a spellcaster. No, duh. And any other character can do any other thing depending on how you build them and what you make of them. Some have there's obviously natural inclinations towards some of the characters, but overall you can pretty much do what you want. And that's amazing. I love it when a game does that because then I can make my fantasy. And I love being able to do that when I'm like, no. Lune looks like a spellcaster. She's going to be that. That's what she is for me. Cool. And I can go that route. And on top of it, if you build for the synergies for that and you get the right perks, you can become godlike in this game. And I also love that. And I love nothing better then finding those cheat moves and those cheat combinations and different attributes you can get with the characters to where, just like you said, they're playing off each other and they're going, oh, replicate. Play again. Summon 2, summon 3. And you're like, oh, yeah, you didn't stand a chance. And then, of course, the other part of this, you don't even need any of that. Because if you can parry like a pro, you can dodge every single attack ever, and you will never take a hit. You could be level 1, facing off against the endgame boss, and win. If you can parry every single attack or dodge, because guess what? In later game, you got to be able to do both. You got to be skilled, know when to dodge and when to parry, because sometimes it just doesn't work out, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, the ways you can play this game and the synergies and the intricacies of it all from a small team like this, just phenomenal. They really umped the game too with the flair of it all while you're in combat, the maestro moves you get to do, the music swelling and bopping and beating and doing what it does. Man, just love this game, and I love the characters to boot. They all had really good personalities. I really felt invested in them. Renoir, I don't remember, I always say it wrong. Not just a baddie to be a baddie, not even really a baddie. You learn so much about these people and what's happening, and you truly understand why they're doing what they're doing. And yeah, you can still take it as not being a great person, but there's a very good reason why people are doing what they're doing. And that's awesome. Nothing's better than that when you can connect to the bad guys, you can connect to the good guys, and you go, okay, I see all your views, and I could be on either side depending on the day and what the hell's going on. That's awesome to me. Wish Matt had played this one and liked it. Sucks. But hey, I got it out of me. It's the last time I'll talk about Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I'll miss you. I probably won't play it again, but I do intend to do the DLC. I didn't get to the DLC, and the DLC has a new little world and some bosses and stuff to do. So that'll probably be a treat to myself in the near future, just so I can get in there one last time, one last hurrah, and put that one in the books till they come up with a new one. But congrats, Samfall. Y'all did awesome. What a great game. Can't wait to see what you're up to next.
And just like we've said off air and in the Discord, I am still interested in this, because when I hear my buddy Eric talk about how good the story is, I still want to experience that story, even if the game's not for me. So I'm going to go on YouTube. I'm going to do that whole Claire Obscure Expedition 33, the movie, all cutscenes. I'm going to experience it probably in bits and chunks here and there, because if the whole world loves it, I'm going to check it out too.
Well, can't wait. At least we'll be able to talk about the neat storyline, just how it all goes about and what's going on and the rest of it, because it's pretty darn cool. Has a lot of potential. Can't wait.
And hey, even if you can't play 205 hours, you can watch 205 hours.
I can do that.
There actually is a dude on YouTube who I did follow. He plays the English version, but he's got like all the different storylines broken out into one big long 2, 3, 4 hour YouTube stream. So you could do the same thing, Eric. You can find out all about why this is the greatest game ever made. Oh my God. But those are our lists, everybody. Those are our lists. Thanks to Steve and thanks to Gnomable for sending in their lists. But if you weren't part of the show, what's your game of the year? What's your favorite game of 2025? What's your favorite game you played in 2025? Break any rules. I don't care. Put it in the Discord, put it in the email, put it in the Twitter. Where do you find those things? The email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com. On the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftMe. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Patreon. Hit up the Discord. Hit up a stream. Yeah, just bust into a stream. If I'm streaming, just bust and be like, hey, my game of the year is XYZ. And I'll be like, I forgot that I said that you could do this on the Game of the Year show, but I appreciate it. Haha. Do any of those things, any of those places. I'm not even ending with Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner because it's a special day. It's a special episode. That's where you can find us. That's where you can do it. Drop us a line anywhere. Do all those things.
Indeed, you can find us at all those places. And you can also head over to the old Patreon. Throw a $1, $2, $3, any bucks in the old tip jar. And it helps keep the lights on. Bills paid here at Third Shift. If you can't do that, you can head over to the Discord and join us there for some conversations, Game of the Year stuff, questions in general, mailbags, any kind of thing you want to do. We're over there listening and watching and typing away in the Discord. Or you could head over to the Twitch, watch Matt play some games, all that good stuff. Have fun over there. You can also just watch the next episode and or go over to the Apple Podcast, do some 5-star reviews, or go over to Spotify and do it there too. There's a lot of options for you to do right now before the clock goes tick tock tock in 2026. I was going to say 2006 happens. Woo! Wouldn't it be nice, boys and girls, to go back to 2006? Oh, God, what I'd give. What I'd give to go back to 2001. 1999. God. Way back. Oh, but no, we're not going back in time. We're moving forward in time. So before we get to 2026, get on out there, get us some good ratings, get us some good vibes, and get us in the new year with a big smile on our faces. We'll probably already be in the new year, so it's going to be too late. Too late to apologize.
It will, but it's before the tick, tick, tick of you going back to work because you had New Year's Day off. That's what he was talking about. That's the tick, tick,
Yeah,
tick.
that's the tick, tick.
But since it is now the new year when you're listening to this, you can listen to the very first episode. Oh, no, this will be the first episode in the new year. Look, I don't know. The metaphor is completely gone. It'll be the first official 2026 recorded episode of Third Shift next week. And you can find that episode on iTunes and Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. You can find it on or around the 8th of January when we'll be doing our favorite thing. I had to go digging for the lists of things that I have to report back on, Eric. And you got to go digging to find that podcast. It's our favorite podcast of the year, our New Year's resolution special, and our catch up on the resolutions from 2025. So look forward to that one. I'm looking at my resolutions for 2026 that I have penciled in here. I don't plan to do any of these things right now, so I'm going to need to change this inside of a week. But if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good places that I talked about just a little bit ago, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all those places, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it.
Indeed we do. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate the 5-star ratings. Get on there. Go do us a favor. Go do us a solid and rate us over there with some 5-star action. We'd appreciate the holy hell out of it. But until you do that, Matt, what?
Ooh, there's nothing else to say but...
Don't
forget to say... Podcast of the year, 2024, 2026.